What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Northwoods Collectors. And today we're doing a live where probably more people have dislikes than I'll get views, but that's fine just because of a thumbnail. So today we're going to be taking a talk about some things. I'm going to let it be open for a little bit, just get things started, of course, like I always do. Let some people enter. Of course, we're just kicking in right now, so we'll give it a little bit of time here and get some people into the live here before we really break down what we're going to be talking about today. So otherwise, you guys come in. Thanks for joining. King Charizard, we'll get into a little bit. Like I said, I got a lot of dislikes on the thumbnail already, which is fine. I mean, it's good if people saw it. And like I said, there's some information out there. There's some things that are going around. People are discussing things, and I thought it'd be really refreshing to put this kind of information out there and just talking about what people are talking about and why they're talking about these things. So once again, kind of funny. A lot of dislikes already on this video, which is just fine. That's absolutely fine, and we'll go through it a little bit here. Like I said, Scramble, thanks for joining, and I disagree. So it is absolutely clickbait. Like I said, someone on a short asked me, and yeah, it is absolutely clickbait. Let's be 100% honest with you. Like I said, a lot of people disliked it just because of the fact of the thumbnail, and for good reason. I mean, the point of it was to put a very disagreeable thumbnail and partially prove a point. When we sit here and talk about Scarlet and Violet, right now, Scarlet and Violet takes a big brunt of what's happening right now in the hobby and why the set is really, why Scarlet and Violet isn't doing well. There's all kinds of arguments right now on why Pokemon's not doing well. And that's just the facts of what's going on. So like I said, we'll get into a little bit. I just want to give everybody some time. I see we got about 11 people in here, so maybe we will get started on this. Thank you, iFomo. Once again, thanks for joining again today. Always appreciate you being in the chats. Babe Cakes, what is the topic? I just clicked on the banner at the top of my phone. So today's topic is going to be Scarlet and Violet and the current artwork that's coming out of Pokemon in the Scarlet and Violet era. Craig Andrews, thank you for joining. Once again, another familiar face I haven't seen in a little bit. What's up, Northwoods? Sold my Pokemon collection last Friday for just over 100k cash. I appreciate everything that you've taught me over the past few years. Well, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. I'm glad that it helps out. Like I said, my biggest thing is that I just want safety. I want people to think, and I want people to learn, because you want to know something? My channel isn't going to be here forever. Investing channels aren't going to be here forever. But if you can learn how to do this and learn some information and be able to make rational decisions on your own, that's really the important thing when it comes down to any kind of investment scheme, whether it's Pokemon, whether it's Yu-Gi-Oh, whether it's sports cards, whether it's stock market, whatever it is, you have to have realistic expectations. You need to learn how to read what's actually happening when it comes down to the actual market. So like I said, once again, we got about 10, 11 people in here currently. So once again, remind everybody, please hit the like. Brabble Scrabble, thank you so much for hitting that. Thank you for sending $1. Greatly appreciated for that. So today's topic, of course, as you saw in the thing, is the title of it is, let's just agree that the current artwork sucks. And that's what we hear some places. We have a lot of places trying to blame everything for the way the market is. And the further that we get into it and the longer this continues to move forward, the more time that we're going to see this kind of community become more toxic. We kind of predicted that this would continue to happen. We have a community and a bunch of people that have done really well in investing and being able to flip. And the problem is that as that flipping goes away, as it becomes more difficult to do that, you can't just go to Walmart anymore and purchase up anything and just flip it tomorrow and take it home, put it on eBay and sell it for double the price. Those kind of things just go away. And as that happens, of course, we get key terms that continue to come out. And the key terms that we continue to come out are things like, the artwork is really bad in Scarlet and Violet. Nobody has interest in this artwork. And then you get thing that we were getting collector's fatigue. That's a new one that's going around a lot of places. It's like, you got to sit here and actually look at what's occurring in this situation and what we're actually seeing. Now, when it comes down to the actual artwork and overall what we have coming into Scarlet and Violet, I'm going to have, it sounds like I think we got all lined up that Josh from Old School Pokemon is going to be, our Old Card Shop is going to be joining me next Tuesday on the live. So I've got him kind of lined up to talk about this also. Because when we did the Choose Your Pat series with him, we had discussed what were we going to see when we came to a base set in Scarlet and Violet. When we go into an era, you sit there and look at every era previously. When you go from the last era into the new one, the base sets are very plain. ordinary, nothing in them, nothing special, no prism cards, no real fancy, artworks. The trainer galleries went away. We lost alternate arts when Cosmic Eclipse went into Sword and Shield. Same thing when we went to Sun and Moon. We lost all of these cards, and things change, and everything kind of becomes more of a mechanic versus a collector set, and a lot of the different mechanics kind of disappear as you move into that new era. That did not happen in Scarlet and Violet. And I keep hearing people, and it kind of just really discourages me when I hear people say that this artwork right now is just junk. We don't have any good artwork. That's why people don't want to invest or collect in, or why we have collector's fatigue currently in Scarlet and Violet. And if you don't think we have good artwork, why are you in this hobby? In general, why are you in this hobby if you don't think that this is good artwork? This is probably the best artwork that we have seen yet in Pokemon. It is fantastic. We are getting great secret illustrator rares. We are getting fantastic illustrator rares. We are getting all of these things that are just really, really, really good, really strong artwork. And that comes down to the collecting and investability side of things. If you think this artwork sucks, and you really think that this is a cause for the overall drop in the market and why investing is dropping so far, I think that they're in the wrong hobby. Right now, this is not the hobby for you. You are probably not in this. When it comes down to saying that you've got collector's fatigue, I can tell you as a collector, I have no fatigue. I'm buying a lot of stuff. I am enjoying the hobby. I can buy the cards that I enjoy for my collection out of this era right now at a very reasonable price. We're not paying these extravagant, super crazy prices, $200, $300, $400 for cards out of the gate in order to get collections. Some of them never come back, such as the Giratina or the Moonbreon. We aren't seeing that in Scarlet and Violet, which is fantastic when it comes down to the collecting aspect. If you have collector's fatigue, I can tell you right now, you probably don't actually have collector's fatigue. What you actually are having is what I would call money fatigue or investing fatigue. You are not doing well on the investing side. You are not doing well on the money side because you aren't able to flip products. You aren't able to make this extravagant profit that you used to be able to make even a year or two ago. And that's going to continue to happen. Overall, as a hobby, this is not necessarily an investor's hobby to make huge gains really fast. And it never was, except for that little boom. You go back prior to the boom, that stuff never occurred. You come in after the boom now, we're starting to normalize the market. We're starting to see it become more of a collector's market again. If you're looking for building a collection now, especially in the Scarlet and Violet era, it's very affordable. You can enjoy it. You can rip packs now and be able to afford to go buy packs. You can go to Walmart right now, and right now I talked to the person at Walmart that works there, and he said they even screwed up. All the Scarlet and Violet packs are supposed to be on sale right now. They're supposed to be $3.74 a pack. And he said that might be different region, but they're all supposed to be pretty much under $4 currently. So if you're looking for these packs, they have so many of them that they've dropped the price. MJ Holding has dropped the price. And if you do follow me, I got another short that I was going to put up and put it up tomorrow where Walmart is now selling Sword and Shield ETBs. They have Brilliant Stars, Lost Origins, Silver Tempest. They had some Fusion Strike on our shelves, and those are selling now for $35, $34.98. Once again, fantastic pricing. Overall, we are seeing a reduction in the amount of investability in this market. Well, not investability, but quick flip. Let me just say it that way. Quick flipping in this market is disappearing, and as it's happening, we're getting people that are getting sour extremely quickly. They didn't enjoy the hobby for the collection. They didn't enjoy the hobby for the Pokemon cards. They didn't enjoy it to have a collection like we do behind us and enjoy these products, even having a sealed product collection and those kind of things. That stuff is going away. The flipping's going away. The market's turning a little sour for those people because some people purchased a lot of different items, a lot of money, a lot of places into risky areas that there was no guarantee of return in the short term, hoping to get that quick flip and continue what was happening from 2020 and 2021 and continue to push that forward to make those big gains. Are there areas and pockets in the Pokemon TCG you can still do that? Absolutely. You can do that in a lot of different locations if you know what you're doing, but it's a lot more skilled now. It's not just go to Walmart, buy a UPC, Pokemon 151 UPC or a Charizard UPC, go home, and then sell that for 3, 4, or 5 times the price. Those situations are just slowly going away completely when it comes down to it. Yeah, there are some products that do show up at Walmart on clearance that give you an opportunity to potentially do that, which is what we used to do in 2019. A lot of times we used to buy those products that were coming on clearance. You buy them on clearance, you take them home, and you list them somewhere else, and you'd be able to sell those clearance prices and make a little bit of cash. Or, like I've said, grind bulk. We ground bulk forever. I'm doing it still. Grinding bulk is a good way to potentially make money and build a collection. If you're trying to build a binder set, you can buy bulk or buy people's cards, and you can dig through them, fill in your collection, fill in your gaps, and sell the remainder of it. And if you know what you're looking for and you understand tournament play, you start looking at TCG Player at the top selling cards. You can use those cards to make to your benefits. But these are the things we used to do prior to that boom that we're going to have to go back to. And if you're looking at this as a small hobby business, or if you're looking at this as a small time investment, it's going to be long term, or it's going to be a grind. There's not going to be those 3 doubling up in one day, or even a month, or even a year. It may take 2-3 years for some of these products to double up in price. But overall, when it comes down to the artwork, guys, this artwork is phenomenal. I love this artwork. I am collecting as much of these things as I can. Overall, as a collector, I'm having no fatigue. So when I hear people sit there and talk about on different channels that collectors fatigue is a reason that these prices are dropping so bad, we just don't have collectors wanting to buy this stuff. No, we don't have investors wanting to buy this stuff and try and flip it for double the price. And I will say that people are definitely starting to reduce on what they're willing to spend. I'm not willing to spend big money on any cards in Scarlet and Violet right now. Even if you listed them really high, I'm going to wait you out. I'm going to wait 6 months to a year on any of these sets to see where they'll drop to. Because now it's kind of it's a hunting game. You're going to wait it out. If you're in the collecting side, you're going to hunt these things down. You're going to take your time as a collector and look for those bottom dollar prices for your collection. So once again, it's going to be the investors trying to get the quick flip, and you're going to be having the collectors that are now waiting you out to see how low you're willing to go before we purchase these things. And when we see good deals, we're going to pick out the good deals. I'm picking up things, even ETBs and some products that, even like Craig just said, he's selling out. Now, I wouldn't be probably buying from Craig. He's probably smart and sold it at top dollar pricing. But in general, there's a lot of people who are just getting out. They're frustrated because they bought this stuff at Walmart 6 months ago and it hasn't gone up in price. And they're willing to sell at that price or even less just because they're done. They want to get out of it. They're done with it. So there's some really good deals that are occurring because people's mindsets are completely changing in this hobby. And we're going to get some toxicity. We're going to see channels that are going to complain about that, especially YouTube channels that were 100% built on that quick flip. That one, buy this, you'll be able to sell it in 3 months for this price, and you're going to make 30 to 50% within 2 months, and you're going to be 100% in 6 months. Those things don't occur and probably will never occur in this hobby again, at least in the near future. Overall, 5 years, maybe at the next 30-year celebration, we might see something. We might see another boost. We might get another thing, but right now on a downward slope. The biggest thing is that we talk about, even back in 2020, 2021, we talked about the Logan Paul boom. What had all occurred in that position? And the one big benefit that happened at that point in time is that Pokemon was already doing really well. Coming out of that tag team set really adjusted, so things were moving up at a really good stature already. There were opportunities starting to present. You were able to get those little bit of movements and those really good pricing and things like that. Hidden Fates came. The market even bounced farther up. I mean, finding a Hidden Fates ETB even in 2019 was extremely difficult. It wasn't easy to find the ETBs. We found a lot of like the Raichu boxes and those kind of products, but the ETBs were very difficult. The other products you could find were always those big premium collections. Because of the pricing, people didn't purchase them. But the ETBs moved really fast. People enjoyed it. Even Sword and Shield, people, when the era changed, they lost a lot of stuff. It lost some popularity, but overall it did extremely well and it continued to move forward. And when Logan Paul boom happened, it was on an already moving up market. It was an upward moving market at that point in time. And what happened is that Logan Paul happened and he just shot it straight up instead of it continuing its gradual growth. So that's a big factor when it comes down to it at this point in time. We're kind of in a downward moving market. We've got a lot of downward pressure in the Scarlet and Violet era. And even if a really popular person, a celebrity, were to try and come in right now and move this market, they have to change the momentum of the market. They're not using the momentum of the market to keep moving forward or shift it up harder. Now they got a downward market. They got to change that momentum to try and drive it back up, which is going to take a lot more effort and a lot more work. And it's going to take a very special person or celebrity or a very special event to do that. So for the foreseeable future, we're probably going to go back to what we were, even when I came back in 2019 at the middle of that. is that there's going to be opportunities. There're going to be them slow things. Collectors are now going to wait out investors. There's not a rush to be buying stuff. People don't have that mentality. I need to have it or I might miss out. The FOMO for a lot of these new sets is starting to go away. Even though the artwork is the best artwork that I've seen yet in Pokemon, I still think that people are waiting these things out. There's no rush. They don't feel pushed to go and purchase these things immediately. They know that there's no time constraint on buying these fantastic artworks. That's why even these best artworks, and that's why I think a lot of times you're seeing some investment channels saying that this artwork, just people aren't interested in it. It's not that we're not interested in it. It's not that collectors are not interested in that particular artwork. It's the fact that people are just waiting, and they're waiting for pricing to drop. They're waiting for opportunities, and the artwork is fantastic. But even the Gardevoir EX, I've bought a couple of them just because I wanted to finish up some collections and send them for grading to have those grading opportunities. But for my personal collection, I'm waiting them out. I still think that there's some price to come down on those particular cards, and that's the opportunities that we could be seeing as a collector. So currently in the market, I don't believe that there's collector's fatigue. I don't believe that that's a thing that's occurring at this point in time. Collectors are collectors. If you enjoy it and you love it, it doesn't matter if it's $0. I'd still be picking it up at garage sales and stuff for $5 for a whole tote. It really wouldn't bother me to do so because I do enjoy it personally, and I do enjoy the cards. I do enjoy my Flareon collection. I do enjoy building collections and trying to better my collections to create something that I enjoy and to show off. Once again, it's investors. It's the money fatigue. It's investing fatigue and money fatigue that is really trying to push this narrative that collectors are feeling fatigued and we're not willing to spend money. It's just that we're not willing to spend the money you want us to spend. And that's the biggest change that's happened is that we're not pressured. And as long as there's no pressure on this market, as long as there's nothing pushing us to force us to make this call really quickly to buy something at a high price, we're not going to. When we see packs of this stuff sitting inside of Walmart, if I can go in there and see thousands of packs of Pokemon in Walmart and Targets, what would be the reasoning in order to go and purchase a single at a really high price? There's a ton of potential sitting right in front of me that this card could be in it. And that means that if my Walmart has this, that probably thousands of Walmarts have this many packs. So there's a lot of these cards yet to be pulled. There's a lot of opportunities in the future for that pricing to come down. So once again, as long as there's a lot of product in the store of Scarlet and Violet, as long as these sets are still readily available all over the place at $3.74 a pack, I don't know what Target's selling them at. I don't know what GameStop's currently selling them at, but Walmart right now is $3.74, at least in the Midwest region. What's the rush? Why do I feel rushed to go buy that Gardevoir EX for my personal collection when I could just see 100, 200, 300 packs of Scarlet and Violet sitting right on the shelf right now? Base set. There's really no rush. So overall, it's going to be a little bit of time. It's going to take time. Collectors are definitely going to have now flipped it on the investors. The investors aren't trying to hunt to be able to sell this high-end dollars to collectors. Now the collectors are starting to hunt the investors and just wait them out underneath the boat. They're waiting for them to get fatigued to where they have to dump. And when they have to dump or they need to start getting some income back, that's when they lower the prices, and that's when collectors are going to continue to jump on this. So currently, is this a selling market for investing? No, I hope that anybody that was on the investing side of things is, especially if you were doing stuff in Scarlet Violet, even like I said in the videos, this is going to be a 2 to 3 year process. It's going to take time for this product to work its way out. It's going to take time, even maybe some clearances, to get all this stuff out of off the store shelves. And once we see that, the pricing will go up. Plus, when Scarlet and Violet becomes the only tournament sets, when we get to the point where Sword and Shield is no longer playable in tournaments and in Worlds and all the other main events, then we might also see an uptick of some of the Scarlet and Violet stuff starting to go. People will start looking for singles. People will start looking at more playability in there currently. Like I said, I haven't looked at the latest sectionals. I was going to sit down and see where we were at. But in general, people aren't using Scarlet and Violet decks. They're still using Mew, Lugia, and Arceus decks. So the 3 best decks are not from Scarlet and Violet, and they don't have a good counter from the tournaments I've seen to really counter those Sword and Shield decks yet at this point. When it happens, things may change, and then Scarlet and Violet may start to click and start moving. But once again, it could be time. It could be a year. It might wait until those go out of rotation, and Scarlet Violet is the only thing left in rotation. So once again, if you guys were going, if people were looking at investments on that short term and just going for the money factor and they don't enjoy Pokemon, they're probably complaining about collectors fatigue. They're probably complaining that the art just sucks and collectors aren't interested in. they're probably the ones that are sitting there saying that the investing's dead and there's no opportunities left in it. And in general, quick flip is dead. Investing's still here. There's still opportunities to, move in the future. Some of these sets are going to do extremely well. Paldea Evolved, once again, I think that there's a great chance for Paldea Evolved. Paradox Rift looks fantastic. I love half the cards inside of this set. They look really, really good. So Paradox Rift, another one, looking really good. Obsidian Flame, if it doesn't get reprints and it continues to kind of perform at this down low, and they don't get all these reprints in the future, even Obsidian Flame with all them Charizard chases could become something better. So it's going to be interesting to see how Pokemon does this. The amount of stock, do I see them doing reprints in the near future of any of these sets? Probably not. There's a lot of stock sitting out there. So there's no real reason for them to do reprints, which may work in the benefit of these sets in the long run. No reprints, opportunity for growth in the future. So basically that's what I always want to talk about. When it comes down to it, is the artwork crappy? Is the artwork the worst artwork that we've seen? And there's no interest in this artwork as a collector? No, not at all. I think there's some really good interest in this. It's just the fact that people don't realize that they're just getting weighted out. Investors are getting weighted out, and that's going to be the new thing. It's actually turned in the favor of the collector at this point, and we have time. You have time to wait it out. You have time to make your plays and just be patient and take advantage of these markets. Like I said, you can go buy Obsidian Flame, you can go buy Paldea Evolved, you can buy Base at all for around $85 or less for a booster box. Why not? I mean, the pricing is just really good. So yeah, that's what I've got right now. Like I said, I'm going to go to the chat. I'm going to kind of get caught up here and see if there's any questions going on here like normal. Pushed about my 25 minutes like I try to do. So got my rant out, got my ranting done for the day. So I'm going to go ahead and see where we're at. Like I said, I already thanked Bramble Scramble for the $1. Craig, yep, you sold out your stuff. Let me see. Bramble Scramble, there are several collecting hobbies I'm in the market all turned down within the last 6 months. There are economic factors out there that are bigger than the games putting chill on things too. I'm curious how the new set in January will do. I am too. I'm kind of curious to see, Shining Fate or Hidden Fates 3.0. Overall, you are correct. Even myself, for me personally, so if it's not me doing my little hobby business here where I'm doing singles or, doing rip and chips and things like that, in general, for my own private purchases, I've really tighten down on what I'm purchasing. I'm not just purchasing things as much for fun as I used to. So I used to always just go buy random packs just because I enjoyed opening them, and it was not considered my business. I just used my personal money for that and family money, and my kids would all open it and we'd all enjoy it. And overall, what we just came to the conclusion is that because of the price of groceries going up so much, we had to buy a new vehicle. Of course, in this market, buying a new vehicle wasn't the greatest thing either because of the timing, but we can't predict all these things, and that's more cost. Cost of energy is going up on top of it. And these are all big factors that just consecutively are stacking up, which means for my personal spending, the amount of packs that I'm opening personally for just fun has been reduced. I'm not opening as much, and that's a big factor too. And it's all hobbies. It's not just here. It's Magic. It's, Flesh and Blood, I've heard, has been down quite a bit. Dragon Ball Z has been down quite a bit. All of really the TCGs and these collecting hobbies have all kind of reduced a little bit especially over the last 6 months. We're starting to see things just chill. Yeah, I'm flipping, I'm chilling. Bad for sellers, great for buyers. Exactly. This is really a buyer's market currently. And like I said, patience being a buyer, going to do wonders for you in the next 6 months. I'm not sure when I should sell my ETB collection, but I feel like not now. No. If you don't need to sell anything right now, I wouldn't sell a darn thing. If you need to turn that money, then yeah, you're going to have to take your risks. And like I said, you're at the mercy of people that want to open, and you're at the mercy of the collectors at that point on how much you can get out of them. Overall, yeah, if you don't need to sell, I would just plan on holding, because futuristically, I think that we'll do well, especially in the next 2.5 years when we get closer to that 30th anniversary. That's going to be a big factor when it comes down to it also, to see how well Pokemon pulls people back into this hobby and kind of moves things up again. Remember shipping. Yeah. Baby Cakes, what is your opinion on the Swedish Umbreon? I honestly haven't even looked at it. Not even going to lie, I haven't even looked at the Swedish Umbreon. I know right now the Chinese one And the Korean one are doing well too. I don't know about the Swedish one personally. Kevin Clear, yeah, I wish I had started with earlier ETBs earlier, but I feel like I got a good time. Yeah, I mean, pricing wise, you're doing good. Yeah, Shining Fates, ETBs, the amount of reprints on Shining Fates ETBs has just been crazy. If you actually look at the performance of Shining Fates, it's done really well. It is done really well, considering it's probably gotten, 6 reprints of ETBs since it's been released. I mean, it seems like every time that the stock disappears on that finally, boom, ETBs are back. Pikachu boxes are back all over the place. So, yeah, for the amount of reprint, for the amount of product that's come out on Shining Fates, to me, that set is done really well. And if you bought that box around $50, you're still doing really well. I think right now the current TCG market on it's like 43, and that's considering 6 reprints on it. So once again, it's holding its ground. It gets up in price, and then it gets smacked by a reprint. It dumps down again down around that $45 range, and then it crawls its way back up to 55, and then it gets hit again. So it's like whack-a-mole with that particular set. But hey, it's a lot of fun to open. I just opened an ETB on TikTok the other day, and I pulled a Charizard. It was just fun. I was just doing it for fun. Pulled 3 baby Chinese and a Charizard. Shining Fates is just fun. You always get them cool hits, them fun hits. And the older the set gets, the more that I kind of like just once in a while going and opening one of those ETBs out of my storage, because there's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to see those in there. Let's see. Kevin Clear, I bought like Celestial Storm for 200, so I'm up like 50%. Yeah, the older stuff is doing really well, especially the XY and Sun and Moon right now. All them sets are doing really well overall. I started with Fury's Fist right up until the Classic Collection box. I love it. I chose to sell because one person bought it all. I could have made more selling it one by one, but this worked for me. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's nice, just one and done. You don't have to wait. You don't have to deal with multiple people looking at it, taking time out of your day to potentially have people look at stuff, or, shipping it all over the countryside, the time and effort inside of that. Definitely, if you were close, it definitely makes it worth it just to be a one and done and be done with it. Yep, exactly. So you sold local, no shipping costs, none of that stuff. You just lost the totes probably at the end of the day for your packaging. But once again, it was a time factor. You did it once, you did it, got done and out. And you didn't have to deal with the time of packing everything. Boxes, bubble wrap, tape, shipping, going to the post office, the time to pack. Yeah, that all adds up really quickly when it comes down to it. Let's see, Kevin Clear, I still think first wave ETB will be a thing later down the road, like Vivid, earlier Darkness early, and Shining Fates early, all the different colors. Yeah. See, I don't know how long, but my concern is that Pokemon's kind of realized that I think booster boxes are going to be the ones that are going to get the least amount of reprints. Pokemon's realized that they have more sellability with ETBs. In Sword and Shield, they realized that they could disperse ETBs to every store. Every store will take an ETB. Not every store will take booster boxes. And there's a limiting factor to booster boxes. LGSs like booster boxes. Rippers like booster boxes. Investors like booster boxes because they're tight packaging. But when it comes down to the sellability factor, it's not as good, when it comes down to selling booster box versus ETBs. ETBs, I think we might continue to see these multiple waves. I think that might be the distribution factor that everybody goes to with Pokemon now at this point in time. They've realized it, and I don't think that they'll go back from that. Kanto Green, do you think Tiffany and Company Pokemon is the biggest play? No, I wouldn't even bother with it. Unless you have way too much money to spend, I wouldn't even bother with it. I think just the ball we'll see. I don't know. I think that ball would do really good. I could see. I should do a poll. I'm gonna put that up on my community page here tomorrow. I think I'm gonna do a poll, see how much money we think that ball is gonna sell for, and we'll see at the end. In a year after this is all done, who's right? What was the max price that ball sold for on eBay, and we'll keep track of it and see. And maybe in the comments that someone sees a sale on it, list where you got it and then the amount that it was, because I'm kind of curious to see how high that Tiffany and Company ball will go for. Because but that you got to buy a $29,000 product. That's the only way you're getting that ball. So is that ball going to go for $29,000? Probably not, but I mean, it might take a good chunk of change off of that if you did sell it. Geez, they just did that with one piece, the first set wave. Yep. Let's see. Shaken Salou. Thanks for joining. Why does everybody have this us versus them mentality? It's exhausting. I don't have an us versus them mentality. The problem is that the markets always dictate that. I'm not saying that I'm playing any kind of game or anything like that. It's just in general, there's always that market mentality. You know, you always have fish in a pond, and at some point these fish get more food than this fish, and this fish gets bigger than this one, and it keeps shifting. The markets always do that. And that's just the markets of supply and demand at the end of the day. As supply goes up, the demand needs to keep up with it. If the demand doesn't keep up with the supply fishes get kind of starved, and the demand fishes don't. And so that's why we're seeing that. Collectors are having a collector's market now, or a buyer's market. You can buy at a really reasonable price because there's too much demand for the interest that's out there currently. Let's see. Ooh, jump to the bottom. I'm getting close. Let's see. Yeah, Portuguese. Avoiding emotional attachment to investments is general. Yeah, exactly. That was one problem I had even in 2019 when I first started, is that I started getting emotional attachments, and that's why I completely started breaking it off. This stuff is for sale. I don't consider it anything. It's not like I'm planning it. It's just strictly for investment. And this is my personal collection. I want this for me. And that's exactly the idea that I had to go to. And it's a hard mind shift. I didn't sell things when I should have because of the fact that I got emotionally attached and I didn't want to lose it. And even though I bought it intentionally for an investment, I didn't want to lose it because I enjoyed it and I got emotionally attached, and then I missed opportunities on those particular items. So that is definitely a big factor when it comes down to your overall performance in investing, is just not getting emotional attachments. You can't if you're looking at it as an investment. If you're looking at a collection, yeah, just become emotionally attached to it. Love it and treat it how you like. But investments, you really do have to build that barrier. I haven't bought anything for a while, but I did buy some Dollar General 3-card 2-packs. And wow. Yeah, I just bought a tin there. The Garnivore tin had Cosmic Eclipse in it. One of them did. And the other one was a newer one. So it had like Lost Origins, Fusion Strike, and I think it might have had Evolving Skies. So there's tins at Dollar General, but they're hit or miss if whether or not they have inside of them Cosmic Eclipse or not. So I got one with Cosmic Eclipse and I got one that did not. Let's see. FOMO. I trust the process to a certain extent. The only thing in my way is greater. Yeah. I'm still having a hard time with grading. It's hard to convince me that I should enjoy grading. And it's just me personally at the end of the day. Let's see. Juke Stridewalker. I hope I hit on the Tiffany. Well, welcome to the live, and yeah, Tiffany collab. Yeah. Hopefully, if you're going for it, I hope you get what you're looking for, and I hope that there's opportunities that you're looking for in it. If you're looking at it as an investment side, if you're looking for a personal collection and you just want the Tiffany and Company and you want the Pokemon stuff from them, great. Hopefully, you can get what you're looking for out of that. Let's see. What's your favorite booster box that you have, Kevin? Oh, Celestial Storm. I like Mewtwo. Let's see. I'm getting close. Hockey is currently spiking, but that's a result of the general rookie talent. And yeah, I got some friends that are in the sports cards, and they said that hockey is a real big one right now, and they've been doing really well on that one. Reality is settling in everything is correcting yourself. Pokemon will be more than fine in the future. It will be. I see no instability in this market to the point where it's not going to be here. We're going to see people continue to clear out of this hobby, especially people that were just in it for the money factor of it. Those people are just going to continue to dwindle off. You're going to see more and more YouTube pages start to strip away. You're going to see more Instagram pages start to strip away. You're going to see less and less personalities at like collecticons and things like that. that are slowly getting stripped away and disappearing out of the hobby because they were only in it for the money factor of it. And the problem is with a lot of hobbies, if you're in it for the hobby, you need to know when to get in and when to get out. If you're in it for just money, the people that were in and out were out of here in 2022. Realistically, I think most of the people that understood the whole investing and just strictly in it for money, most of them, the smart ones, are all gone. They've been gone for quite a bit of time. We've had other people that have tried using other avenues, such as YouTube channels, such as that kind of stuff to try and drive maybe sales. You know, they're doing a little bit of shilling on things to say, yeah, buy this because I've got a ton of it behind me. You don't know that. This product's going to do fantastic, so go ahead and buy a bunch of it. And then they list it on eBay under different sources in order to try and get rid of maybe what they have left. But in general, most of it's going to be cleared out here fairly quickly. And then you're going to get down to a point where the people that are even talking about investing in a hobby or looking at plays and doing these things are still going to be people that are very, very much committed to the cards. They enjoy the cards. They understand the cards. They understand why a Mewtwo is worth more than a Lugia when it comes down to it. And they understand these facets in the hobby of why collectors like what they do more than the other thing, and why this card is actually a fan favorite while this one will not perform as well. And these are all factors that continue to kind of will continue to siphon their way through, and we'll see less and less people giving advice and being part of the investment side. But on top of it, you're going to get more reliable investment advice and more reliable people that understand the hobby that they're talking about. It's not just going to be people that are just willy-nilly throwing out, buy this booster box. Yeah, go buy this booster box because I guarantee it'll go up in price. I mean, we've heard that for so long. And yeah, you could buy a booster box, and I can't even argue the fact, but they can't give you the reason on why to buy that booster. What is in that booster box that's going to drive that pricing forward? You know, even like myself, why did I buy 10 cases of Evolving Skies in December when it was $99 a booster box? Well, because I thought that set was goated. I mean, it had so much in it that were fan favorite Pokemon. It automatically just makes you drive to it. Even Brilliant Stars. I think Brilliant Stars is getting to be a little underrated. It has a lot of fan favorite Pokemon. It's got that Charizard alternate art. It's got a lot of Arceus cards in it, and it's got a lot of opportunity that just has, once again, the reprints have kind of slowed that down, and it's just kind of interesting, even with the playability, how much that one's kind of slowed down. But once again, people that are investing in things should be able to tell you why you should invest in this thing. Why is this an investable item, and what's the reasons that you should be purchasing this? Not just buy a booster box because look, at the past it's gone up in price. Well, as we get further in time, even in the past, you look at XY era, you look at Sun and Moon era, some booster boxes performed a lot better than other ones. You know, even looking at it, Roaring Skies was a perfect example. If they hadn't killed it in reprints, Roaring Skies had a great opportunity. You know, Phantom Forces, another set that really had a lot to it and a lot of opportunity, a lot of fan favorite items in there with Gengar and Flashfire, Charizard set. Once again, those three particular sets were doing extremely well. Even Evolutions was doing well up until they reprinted the hell out of it. Once again, those two sets, Roaring Skies and Evolutions, got killed by reprints more than any other sets in XY. But we knew why those sets are popular. You can go back in time now and look at those sets and say these were popular because of these cards inside of them. These fan favorite Pokemon, these anchor Pokemon that are always really popular were in these sets. Thus, they were performing better than most of the other sets in that era. And that's where you got to get to and what you should be looking for when it comes down to people that are giving you investment knowledge. How do you cure horrible pack luck? Just keep opening packs. That's my cure. Just keep opening until you eventually just hit a streak. Probably not the best advice, but that's my solution. What's your best case scenario for 151 EPs over the next few years? Can they survive reprints? ETBs in 151, I think, are going to take a little bit of time. I think, personally, this product here is going to be the one you should, if you can, on a reprint, I would double down on this product more than an ETB. That's just my personal take. I've already gone down on those particular products and really purchased those over ETBs. I put my money into those versus ETBs because I feel that these, and overall, we're seeing better performance on those at this point. But can they survive a reprint? I think they'll survive. Overall, it's brought a new culture in here. It's brought more OGs that have kind of been slacking and not really getting involved and been watching from the sidelines. Now they came in. So overall, there is that feeling that people want to get into it. And once again, I think as the economy kind of recovers a little bit, hopefully in the next 2 or 3 years, we'll see people want to open more of it. And that's really going to be the factor, is we got to get the economy a little bit more stabilized. Whether we got to get people more income, whether we got to get people more, stability or lower pricing and get some deflation in this market to pull the pricing back, whatever needs to occur to get people more comfortable to purchase again. That's really going to be when that happens. I think this hobby will do well again at that point in time. Yeah. Let's see. Civic, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining the chat and the live. Hope so. I don't think anyone would split them. Juke Stridewalker again. I think the Silver Tiffany will do well. The gold entry point is a bit too high. I bought the last Tiffany collab for $400 and now selling for $412. And I think so. I think the lower ones have probably a better chance of having some increase. $29,000 is a really high price. You're really banking on some really high-end people buying that. And, it'll be interesting to see overall how it performs on that high range. I mean, even $1,200, like $1,250 to buy in on the silver ones, to me is still a little bit on the high side. I kind of left these like the small ball, 7K. Yep, we're definitely putting up that. We're definitely putting up a survey, Kevin. We're gonna put a survey up there, and I'll even go up to $100,000. We'll put ranges on it and see who falls into the right range in the next year. Do you think it's time to buy PSA Charizard's Evolutions? Kanto Green, I've been watching them, and I think it's a really good time. I think maybe I'd wait another 6 months. I would honestly wait for everything right now for probably about 6 months. Just personally, if you're looking at like PSA investments or collecting for yourself, if you're looking for those collection pieces and things like that, I think I would still wait 4 to 6 months. The economy still hasn't settled. We haven't seen very much improvement. People are kind of finding a settling point, but the credit card debt situation is really concerning me because we're getting to a point where more and more people are going to run out of money. And when people continue to run out of money, they're running on credit cards now at this point in time. They're not using expendable money for Pokemon. They're using credit cards. They're also using said credit cards for their everyday lives. And when you're continuing to see the U.S. credit card debt going up, I mean, we've crossed $1 billion now in credit card debt, or trillion, whatever it was. It's an astronomical number. It's the highest it's ever been, and it's continuing to go up month by month. And that's going to be a big factor is that how many people are buying stuff on expendable money, how many people that are selling even Pokemon cards are sitting with credit card debt, and they'll have to make decisions. And once again, I would wait for any kind of those collection things like that. I'd still give it a couple months, personally. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm just kind of sitting. I think PK said it best. Sit on the fence. Sit on the fence and watch. You may not catch it at the lowest, but you'll definitely catch it when it starts to move up if you're targeting a specific item. So you don't have to rush. You can sit on the fence and just watch it play out. Pokebino, thank you for joining. I just need to get everything organized. I barely sell anything. Sometimes sell some duplicates. I would sell a lot of singles if I was organized for sure. And that's a big thing. My kids and I literally spent 2 weeks organizing all of my bulk finally where I could be able to sell it. And once you get to that point, it's great because then you can just go and grab what you need. People order and you can just move it. You can refill it and continue to build it. And it just works better. Organization gets to be a huge factor. And right now I don't even want to show. So I've been on TikTok, and if you know, TikTok shops right now has zero. They're not charging me anything, and they're doing all these sales. So if you want some really good deals on booster boxes and stuff right now, check out TikTok, because even my store, I'm making $140 on them, but they're actually selling them to people with like 30% off. So you're getting huge savings right now on TikTok, and it's not costing me anything. And I'm also doing rip and ships, and once again, people are getting fantastic deals. We're doing rip and ships, and yeah, I've got a mess. We did a bunch of Evolving Skies just for fun the other night. So we had a bunch of people buy Evolving Skies ETBs, so we ripped through those on TikTok, which is a lot of fun. Did not get a Moonbreon. Very disappointed in that. If it's the iFOMO, if it's a collection, should you lower your standards? I guess I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, for me, I always buy one of something. So even like my Flareon collection, I bought one card just to get started and get it into my collection. And then once again, lowering that standards for price to be able to get it in. And then over time, I figured I'll just keep switching them out until I get the collection that I truly want. So you can do a lot of different things when it comes down to your collection. Personally, a lot of times I just want to build the collection, get everything in here. And then over time, you can sit there and hopefully, you know, some of your collection pieces went up in price. As prices continue to go up, you might have bought a PSA 9 or an 8 of something, and you could buy the 10 and then swap it out and sell the 8 for a little bit more than what you purchased it for. Granted, the 10 probably went up too, but you can continually work on your collection to better it for how you want. Booster box. Kevin Clear. Booster box. Leaf green, fire red, probably. I have zero seal. They're talking. Okay. Craig, Northwoods, have you ever considered opening your packs at various locations around the farm to record videos for shorts? I think it would make an original content for others. I could do it. I mean, I thought about doing it in tractors too. The problem is that I'm always... Mason's here. I could send you a link. Yeah, I could send you a link, Mason. If you want to jump in, I could bring you in, man. I'm okay. Here you go, Mason. Hold on. I might have to change something here. Let me do this. Nope, wrong button. So yeah, I might be bringing Mason on here. Mason, if you're still there, let me know. But yeah, I thought about doing the farm thing, but I'm concerned about dust and things like that. You know, some people can get a little touchy sometimes about that. So, you know, I could see both ways on that. Because even me, my hands really aren't that dirty, but I go under certain lights and contrast, and there's like dirt embedded in under my skin. It's almost like a tattoos on my hands just from years of working with dirt and soot, and people even give me crap for that. And it's, you know, I get it. A lot of people do get a little bit nervous, you know, when they see people doing that with cards and dealing with expensive cards. But yeah, I could definitely see that being one of those things that some people might get a little bit hesitant about. Okay. Yeah, horrible pack advice. Okay, starting Zoom. Give me a minute. We'll see if we can get Mason on here for a little bit. Let's see. Oh, I'm doing well. I finally, like I said, I was down for about 3 weeks there, and I finally got everything back together. So I'm doing really, really well again. Still have crap in my throat. It's weird. Whatever I had, I have no idea. Civic, how do you feel about Lucana? Okay. Lucana itself, I think, is a really cool set. It's a really cool concept overall. Overall performance, I don't know how well it will perform long term. And the only concerns that I have with it is how much Disney's going to continue to produce, you know, how many people are going to continue to enjoy it. Those are all big factors, you know, even like MetaZoo, you know, we had people at MetaZoo really thinking MetaZoo was going to be hot. Then they reprinted it with a second edition. Then they reprinted it with a, you know, full edition. I mean, it was just a ton of stuff. Let me see. New meeting. Sorry, it seems like it's a little bit laggy, and I think it's just because my... Well, I know it's because I'm trying to do too much too fast real quick. So if it seems a little laggy, it is me. All right. I don't know if I can do this or not. I'm trying to figure out how to bring Mason in here, but let's see, where are we at? 151 UPCs should do great if it doesn't get a third wave. Yeah, I agree. I think the UPCs will do really well too. I'm not saying anything bad against them. If they continue, like you said, even the second wave, it was a second wave, but I don't know if it was considered a reprint. And I don't know if we're going to see any more than that. I think we're going to run out of time. So, yeah, I think the UPCs will do it right. I think overall, like I said, the gold card looks really cool. I don't know if how many people have opened them. I've opened one. I enjoyed it. I think that the 2 promo cards that I needed for my collection, that's the only way to get them, which, once again, Pokemon doing their thing where they take a Japanese set and put the best cards into a UPC that you have to buy, which really sucks. But, that's the only thing why the UPC I think will do well, is that that's the only way that you're actually going to get all that stuff in. What happened? Sorry, freaking out. Okay. Mason, I'm just going to have to wait. We'll get you in here. Maybe in a couple weeks, I'll talk to you on the side. Otherwise, my computer's going to freak out. But yeah, overall, UPCs, as long as they don't get a third wave, and I like I said, I don't even think that from what I understood, the second part of it was just a wave. It wasn't a reprint. Overall, I think that product is really nice. It's a nice little clean product. The Mew card, of course, you get the gold Mew, you get the 2 Mew promos in it, and I wish were chase cards in it, and that sucks if you're trying to get those things. But I think enough of them have been open too, where if you are looking for those, you could purchase them that way also. But overall, they're a clean product. Once again, UPCs seem to be really popular. A lot of people got into the Celebrations UPC, and the Celebrations UPC really brought in a new culture for it. So that's why the Charizard UPC blew up. And I think the 151 UPC, I think people were more cautious on that one because of what happened with the Charizard UPC. So overall, I think a lot of people kind of are just staying back on it and just seeing where it lays out and what happens, how much we get before people really start buying into that particular one. The Charizard people has got everybody gun shy at this point in time. It was 10K Charizard evolutions last year, and nobody knows it's notoriously hard to grade. Yeah. The reverse is extremely hard to grade. Phantom X Mods, thanks for joining. Pokemon has brought my credit score from 360s. Yeah, if you could do some flips and do some things, you definitely could. And if you pay it off. I mean, I use my credit cards quite a bit. I don't say don't use credit cards for purchasing. Credit card debt is what scares me, and credit card debt is what's accumulating over months. I use my credit cards because I get 2 to 3%. So one of my credit cards, if I buy on eBay, I can get 3% off of all my eBay purchases. So right there, I'm saving 3% on my investment if I sit there and buy it with my credit card. That's a huge bonus when it comes down to it, but I make sure I pay my credit card at the end of the month. I don't overextend what I have on my credit card to let it sit for months, because if you let it sit for a month, you're already getting rid of the 3% that you saved. So if you're going to do it, purchase, get the 3% off, pay the credit card off on the first statement where you don't get the interest on it, and then continue to do that, and you can do really well. And once again, it will build your credit score a lot. That actually has been a big credit score builder for me for a long period of time, is just continuing to use that revolving credit, but not paying the interest. Pay it off as soon as you get it. Don't overextend what you actually have in your accounts. Be sure that you pay it at the end of the month so you're not paying that high interest rates, because now credit card interest rates are between $24.99 and $29.99. Some people I've seen at like 35%, $34.99. That eats up that 3% immediately. So you really aren't saving anything if you have to wait a month to make that payment. You lost a 3% opportunity. Let's see. Northwoods, are you going to Card Play 2 in Florida? So I was just honestly looking at that, and my wife and I were just talking about it. So we might be. My sister lives down there, and my wife's cousin lives down there. So we were actually considering going down to it. I don't know for sure if we are. And if we are, I'll make sure to let you know, Craig, for sure. Kevin, so you like the art or we don't? Because I don't. Well, some people won't, Kevin. I mean, in general, there's going to be both factors. For me, I love the art. I think that they're doing extremely good. Overall, comparatively to any other Pokemon era start, the artwork is by far the best that I've ever seen. Even when it comes down to most art in general in Pokemon right now, I think the art is just phenomenal in Scarlet and Violet. Like I said, some people won't transfer. Some people don't like EXs again. I've heard people say that they don't want to see EXs again, so they're not interested in it. Even Kevin, I've heard you say before that you're a diehard Sword and Shield, but we all fall back into certain eras at some point. I mean, we do enjoy things more than others, and, it depends on where you want to be. Yeah, I'm not saying that overall it's good or bad to like the artwork. What I'm saying is to sit there and blame the artwork as because it sucks. It's the reason that Sword and Shield and Pokemon, or Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield, or Pokemon and Sword and Shield and all these sets are dropping, is because the artwork sucks and there's no interest anymore in them. I think that that's just a cop out. Overall, it's a cultural change. It's an economy change. It's the overall availability of products. Moving into the new era is always a little bit of a slowdown and a drawdown when it comes down to it. And once again, it's going to be a cultural thing that's going to take some time. We've got a lot of things going on. Costs are going up. People are running out of money on their credit cards. That's a big factor. No expendable money and no credit card movement anymore. These are all things that are going to slow down the market. People were buying cards to open on their credit cards, hoping to hit that Moonbreon or hoping to do these things. And that's just not realistic any longer. And that's more of the problem, is we are losing the FOMO because there's tons of product. There's no fear of missing out when you can go to Walmart and see 1,000 cardboard sleeves sitting on the shelf. Or there's a pile of ETBs from both Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet piled up all over the place. Even 151, we're seeing products still left on the shelves. And that's all a big factor when it comes down to the fear of missing out. You're not going to get FOMO if product's available all over the place. You're not afraid that you're going to miss something when it's all over and it's easy to get. All right. TK Craze, thanks for joining. Do you think 151 booster bundles will see a reprint? Yes, they are getting a reprint. I've already been told that. Restock, reprint. They're getting more of them. It sounds like that. I think the 6-pack bundles are even. They've reprinted them in Lost Origin. They've reprinted them in Silver Tempest. It is going to be an item that's reprinted. It makes sense. Once again, when they came out, I loved the product. It's a great product. It's a great segue to get the product out to people, and it's inexpensive compared to even an ETB. So you get more packs for the price. So you're realistically, if you look at the price breakdown, you're getting a free pack for the price that you're getting. So you're getting an extra pack for the same price as an ETB. I don't mind buying one ETB because I do like getting the sleeves and some of the the dice, depending on the ETBs, what's inside of them. Sometimes I do like that. The promo card inside of the Scarlet and Violet ETBs, you definitely want to get that, like the Snorlax inside of 151. You got the Charmander Charmander in Obsidian Flame. Once again, beautiful little promo card that comes inside of those ETBs now. So yeah, I see an incentive to want to buy that once, but then after that, you kind of lose your incentive. And when it comes down to storage and space availability and future sales, the little 6-pack bundles, I think, have a little bit of an edge compared to an ETB at this point in time. Civic, no first edition scares me. Yeah. Mason, yeah, like I said, I already saw that. We'll set it up, Mason. I'll contact you. Like I said, next week, Josh is going to be joining me, so maybe the following week we could set something up. Or maybe I'll just do a surprise live and just sit down and relax. Take a little bit extra time here and talk to Mason. Mason, I love having Mason on here because he has a really good aspect from inside the LGSs, and he has that really good information that from the ground. He's on the front lines when it comes down to the LGS. So he's seeing tournament play, he's seeing sales, he's seeing what products that people are interested in, and he has that really good firsthand knowledge when it comes down to what's available, what you should be looking at too. Let's see, iFOMO. Poketino, thanks for joining the live. What are your thoughts on the Pika Van Gogh? I didn't see the market getting a massive reprint. I don't see it any longer either. I thought we were going to see a reprint, which is why I was kind of holding out on it. Once again, this is where I talk about a lot of times, even in videos, you don't have to hit everything. So even my original thought was, with all the issues that were going on, everything that was happening, all the things that were going on with that Pikachu Van Gogh, the fact that Pokemon was putting out, we're going to reprint this. We're going to get more of these out. We're going to get this. It scared me to where I wasn't really trying to get any of those. I didn't see any value in trying to take a risk at potentially buying these at $35, $40, $60. And then Pokemon being Pokemon, release a massive reprint, just a massive reprint of these things and releasing them back on Pokemon Center. And then, of course, you can get 5-10 of these per order by buying one product of Pokemon Center. And it doesn't seem like they've done that. It seems like they did that little bit of a reprint where you bought got an order of $30 or more, and then you got one of them inside the order. So that was one of them things. I think it's going to be interesting to see if Pokemon does come through and we do see another reprint of those particular cards. If we don't, this market's going to continue to go up. I think that thing just got crazy and really fast. But once again, I'm not at all upset that I missed out on it. It's not like I'm going to be hurting because I didn't get in on that particular product. And for me, erring on the side of caution was more beneficial than taking the risk and buying a bunch of these and then getting completely whacked when they release double the amount of them because of the popularity of that particular product, which Pokemon's been known to do. So is it really worth that risk? Craig, do you think Pokemon will ever make cards like Sport? Yeah. As a nuclear option. That's where I'm going to go with that. I don't think Pokemon is going to do serialized cards. I just, if they did, it would be I hope that they work out a distribution system, where you could get it where it doesn't make a big disruption in it. Because now I don't know if it would be as big of a problem as when we originally kind of talked about when Magic first started talking about it and was doing their first set with serialized cards. Because the hype and the FOMO's kind of dropped down in Pokemon. Now, could a serialized chase come into Pokemon? It always could. I just don't think that Pokemon's anywhere near a state yet, even on their marketing side, that they're wanting to pull that pin and go that direction yet. And I honestly hope that they don't for some time. I could see them if more TCGs and they see more success in it in TCGs. I could see them. But, a perfect example is I'm going to use even that Magic set. We had the 1 of 1 ring, and when it was found, now that set sits everywhere. When it was first coming out and people were hunting, you couldn't find that. I mean, it was out of the LGSs, it was out of Walmarts. Everybody was buying that set, chasing that 1 of 1 ring. But then Pokemon saw that exactly what was concerning is that when you get to a point where it's found, or all these cards are found, or a certain amount of these cards are found, the chase kind of dies and it starts slowing down because they've already been found. So why are we going to continue to look for them? Now, granted, like you're saying, if you did 1,000 of them, that would completely change the chase too. But once again, 1,000's a lot. Typically, a chase is like 1 of 75 or 1 of 100 or 1 of 250. And, there's a lot of different things that can go into that. And I honestly hope that Pokemon doesn't do it. I think it's a Pokemon's nuclear option if they really felt that things were slacking and they were way behind and market-wise it was completely dying and they were trying to get something to go again to really accelerate this market. They may pull that pin and do it, but I don't know when or if it'll ever happen personally, and I hope it really doesn't. Garen, thanks for joining, Garen. What sealed items are you watching for Black Friday deals? So a lot of the sealed stuff I'm watching for currently is actually on TikTok because of the Black Friday sales right now on there. So I picked up, so for example, I wanted to get a booster box of Paradox Rift. So with the Black Friday deal with this, it was on sale for like $99 anyways for the site over there. And with the Black Friday deal shipped to my house, I only paid $78 for this booster box, Paradox Rift, and it's a brand new set. So once again, the deals are really good on TikTok right now. So if you guys have not been on TikTok, go check it out. There's a lot of 30% deals right now with free shipping. So get free shipping, you get 30% off. It doesn't hurt the person who's selling them on its bottom line, especially if they're newer shops. And TikTok, I don't know how they're doing. I know what they're probably doing is they're taking their advertisement budget and they're trying to build the shop. And they're trying to build this sales platform on TikTok. And these TikTok sales are just sponsored by TikTok itself to build these shops and to build successful shops so that they have that sales platform. So if you start a shop and you have 1,000 subscribers, you start a shop and you start selling product on TikTok, you can actually start doing, like that. For the first 90 days, they really do some fantastic deals to try and get you going. They do buy one, get ones. They do 20% off. They've seen, they've buy 2 or buy $25, get $5 off. Buy 50, get, $10 $10 off, type deals. So they're always running these promotions to try and help your shop out, and it doesn't affect you at all for your bottom line. And they're not charging me any fees right now to use them. So I sold Evolving Skies ETBs at $80 a piece. I'm getting paid $80 a piece. They're not taking anything out of it. They're not even taking the shipping costs out of it. I just have to pay the box and the labeling for it, and that's all that I had to do for the ones I sold sealed. And the ones I rip and ship, of course, just the same thing, a package and whatever I needed to do for that. So yes, TikTok has really got some really good deals right now for Black Friday. They're running a Black Friday promotion with a lot of the newer sites. And if you go to TikTok, that's where I'm really focusing on the sealed items right now, is right in there, because there's some fantastic deals right now currently. All right, guys, just to let you know, we are at the 1 hour mark. So as always, I'm going to start wrapping it up here. I know 1 hour just never seems like enough sometimes, but hey, we've got a lot more people here. As I do this every week, it seems like more and more people know what we're doing it. So thank you for joining once again. Anybody that just came in to see what I was talking about with the cards, no, I don't think it's the worst artwork ever, and I don't think we need to agree on that. I think overall, it's fantastic art. I don't think you can blame the art for the current situation we're in. Sitting there throwing all the brunt of the problems onto Scarlet and Violet and the artwork is just absolutely ludicrous. It's just strictly the market. It's the economy. It's the fact that there's a lot of product out there, and there's a lot of factors going on. A lot of small factors that are coming into a big problem when it comes down to being able to move products currently in the market. Let me see. Of course, they put it behind that heart. Kills me for the last comment every time. Oh, here we go. What if TikTok coupons last forever? So coupons do not last forever. If you did do coupons, Pokemon X Mods, thanks for joining also. They don't last forever. So if you go and click on a coupon from a store, they only last for whatever time frame that I put on it. So if I were to put a coupon onto my store and say, yeah, you can get 10% off of one item, that coupon is only good for, I can say 10, 15, or 30 days. If you don't use it in that time frame, they expire. I think the most you can go is 30 days on a coupon. A lot of the stuff you're seeing right now for especially new shops and Black Friday, that's all put on by TikTok. They're not coupons. They're just deals that TikTok's doing for the shop. They're really focusing on building this sales network. And be honest with you, they're very much customer driven, which is fantastic. They're really watching the customer, and they're really making sure that the platform protects the customers. They really put a lot of pressure. That's the one thing I will say about it, that it's kind of a pain in the butt, but on the other hand, it's really good that they're doing it, is that they're really creating it so you have to follow the rules, and they really don't give you much leeway. You need to be able to do what you say you're going to do and make sure that you're getting shipments out on time. You have to be sure your listings are right. You know, they're doing everything that they need to protect customers to grow that. Nomad, thanks for joining the live. If you keep an eye on that store, 30% coupons will keep popping up. I've used at least 4. Yeah, they will. They will. They'll continue to keep coming, especially on new stores. So like mine, I've got like 90 days or 120 days as a new store. They are literally promoting for me. They are pushing these coupons out to get people to buy. And I mean, I've had people buy. So the Evolving Skies ETBs, people were buying them for $80. They were only paying like $56 with tax, $57 with taxing. So they were getting them for $56 with a 30% off, free shipping, and all the promotion codes. And I'm still getting $80. It's a win-win for everybody right now. So I am really excited with the way that they're working with the sellers and with the buyers for TikTok. They're not screwing one to help the other. They're eating costs on their end to really build these stores and build these shops to get people with loyal customers and continuing business. And like you said, you can go to the same shop over and over and over again. You go back a couple days, they'll have another 30% up there that you can use. Craig, I appreciate you. Not only are you sharing knowledge in the hobby, but also for the fact that you provide food for us. Well, thank you, Craig. Thank you very much. Once again, appreciate it. I try and just share as much information as I can. I mean, I want you guys to be successful. You know, the more people that are successful, the more people that are comfortable in this, the more people will stay in it, and the more that people will enjoy it. So once again, you know, it's a win-win for everybody. And like I said, that might just be my farming mentality. If I can teach you to do something and you can become successful at it, you'll remember that I taught you that. And if I need it, you'll help me too. And eventually becomes a reciprocating cycle of just everybody helping each other. And you can build a very strong base of anything by doing that for sure. Ramble Scramble saw 151 booster bundles at Target yesterday. Yeah, I think that there's a second wave of those. So the distributor said that we will be seeing more ETBs, and I saw more ETBs at Walmart. My Walmart did not see any more 6-pack bundles, but I saw that GameStop had some. So I actually saw them at GameStop the other day too. So yes, I think that that's the next wave of Pokemon 151, the small reprint or wave. I don't know. He wasn't really clear. He didn't know if it was a reprint or wave. He thought it was just another restocking a product. He didn't think that they had reprinted anything, but he did know that was another wave coming. As far as I know, Kanto Green, and maybe Mason knows more than I do because I haven't talked to my distributor recently, but we're getting a wave now. The wave is just coming out now into stores and coming out to places currently. And I don't know if there's anything scheduled beyond this at this point in time. I don't believe that there's anything scheduled as a wave or a reprint, but I don't know for sure if there's any news yet. I'd have to go. I haven't talked to Jake for a few weeks, so I'll have to go get a hold of him and find out where we're at on reprints and things like that. He's been busy and I've been busy and trying to get everything wrapped up. Plus it's getting cold, so people are panicking with heating. So I've been running. Like I said, Tuesday nights, I just kind of say I'm done and I make sure I make the live just to be with you guys. So, once again, I don't know for sure. I'll have to give Jake a call, find out where we're at on reprints and what the status is in some of these things. But as of right now, from what I understood a couple weeks ago, is that there's a wave of Pokemon 151, 151 that's coming out, ETBs, 6-pack bundles, Alakazam boxes, Zapdos boxes, and then some more UPCs. This all came as another restock wave. It's not a reprint. He said he didn't think it was just a restocking wave. So once again, that's kind of where I'm at on it. I don't think there's any reprints coming in the near future, and I haven't heard of anything on any channel or anybody talking about it. So like I said, that's kind of where we're at right now. So hopefully you guys had a good live. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for joining, everybody that came, of course. I always appreciate everybody that comes in and, asks questions and brings things forward and asks for opinions. And as always, I'm always willing to help. This week, I'm not going to be doing a video tomorrow. I can tell you that. I am going to skip tomorrow's video, and I'm going to put it on Friday. I'm going to throw up a short just to kind of keep the algorithm going. I've been trying to put more shorts up, and I've been working on that. Like I said, the one short, I cleaned up all my messages. I went through and just restarted. Overall, I want to keep up with everybody. I want to make sure that you see that I'm reading stuff, because I know I get busy, and I'm on the tractor, I'm in the truck, and I read something and I want to get back to it, but then 30 more, 40 more comments come and then I forget about it. So what my new idea is just that if I see it, I'm going to at least heart it. That way, I've read it, I've seen it, and then I'll go back and respond to them as much as I can. What type of farming do you do? I do beef farming. So we have a 200 head beef farm, feedlot, confinement lot operation that we have up here. So we do seasonal planting, for silage, and then hay. We do a lot of hay ground, constant crop rotations, and that's pretty much what we do. It's family. My brother and dad really run it, and I help them. We help also. So I run more of the HVAC business. My brother runs more of the farm, but still spend enough time in a tractor trying to keep up. I mean, 200 head of beef, there's a little bit of work that's involved in keeping up with that. So other than that, seeing that we're all caught up on the chat, like I said, thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining. I've already got next week scheduled, so you can definitely hit the note or reminder on that one. Haven't come up with a title yet. As the week goes on, I'll find something to put inside of there. I know that Josh is going to be coming up there, so I'll put a thumbnail in. Like I said, Josh from Old Card Shop is going to be joining me next week. We might be talking a little bit more about this, about how well Scarlet Violet looks and what it's looking like. And then, as you saw, I'm going to work at Mason. Maybe we'll, in 2 more weeks, we'll have Mason on. So we'll have a couple of people coming on, and that's what I kind of wanted to use this as. Is originally I wanted to start with me, but every Tuesday I want to do something on the channel to just continue to be here, be in the lives, have discussions with you guys, and continue to work with you guys in the community, especially with the way things are going. I mean, there's a lot of weird information, a lot of things happening right now in this hobby. And sometimes just having stability and knowing that you can come someplace, and get discussions is sometimes really helpful in general for people that are in the hobby trying to make decisions and trying to think about what they should do or getting a different perspective on those points of view. So other than that, guys, thank you for joining me. As always, greatly appreciate you guys stop by and give me your questions. And of course, any kind of information that you're willing to share with me is greatly appreciated. Like I said, overall, we're going to continue to move forward with the lives every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Time up until Daylight Savings Time, and then they'll go back to 9. That's going to be a continuing thing as we move forward because my wife's scheduled in Arizona, so I'm just kind of going with they don't switch times like we do, so mine will shift on time change, but it means we got about 4.5 months with me being here at 8 o'clock. But like I said, other than that, guys, thank you everybody that's joined tonight, and then we will see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.